Hey guys, it's 258. Welcome back to Herd and Instincts. I forgot to load up chapter 18. Hold up. Let me do that real quick. So last time, Twilight pulled off the princess card on Timonthy here, which I kinda hate that she did that because he's not a pony. I'm not sure how Citrus, like right now, Cliffhanger was Tim and Citrus. Tim just got home and he's gonna tell Citrus about the night he had. And I do wonder what's gonna happen, because, like, they say, like, you could, like, according to Cadence, or I don't remember the lore behind this, a princess can fuck anybody she wants at the end of the day. And Twilight happens to have feelings for Tim, and that, she was being human for him at the end of the day, which he desperately needed, and it was good for him to have it, too. But, like, her just running away, it's sort of like, god damn it, Twilight, like, you could have just stayed and we could have talked this out, but you just running away just made this complicated, and now I'm gonna have to go deal with my morality being crushed by this betraying aspect of my relationship that I didn't think I'd have. Even though I think this all depends on Citrus, because Citrus doesn't like Twilight for some reason. Even though most of the stress, I don't think Tim has that much stress from Twilight, to be honest, in my book. Except for, like, the pony thing and just the emotional outbursts he has when they're, like, looking at his old tech from his world that he crashed and all that. I don't think it's, like, that serious of stress, except for the pony, him turning into a pony. Anyways, chapter 18, and Gotham Dash, I'm cold, okay. Such as Blush walks through the, okay. Chapter 18. Such as Blush walks slowly through the town of Ponyville. Her steps are sure as she moves toward her destination. A quick glance ahead reveals to her the mystifying castle created by the Tree of Harmony. She finds her steps slowly as she gets closer. That mare, that damn mare, that fucking mare. She shakes her head and speeds her steps. She stops at the enormous doors to the home of the Princess of Friendship. She takes a moment to compose herself and finally knocks on the door. After a few moments, the doors open and a small purple dragon blinks up at her. May I help you? Okay, Spike opens the door. Okay. She nods. Okay, so this just tells me Citrus is just heated as fuck right now. She nods. Yes, I need to speak to Princess Twilight. Who are you? Citrus Blush. The dragon flinches. Ooh boy, he sighs. Twilight's been expecting you. She's in the throne room. Do you need me to guide you there? Citrus nods, and the little dragon turns on his heel. He pads her quickly through the castle with the yellow mare in tow. Citrus is in awe at the amazing architecture of the castle. It's half tree and half crystal. It's something surreal even in the fantasia that is Equestria. She can't help be reminded of storybooks her mother had once upon a time read to her with tales of Sir Falky and the Fearless, Yellow Kittle, Saffron, the adventures shared by Aula Besta of Unicornia and Cyclus of Pegasopolis. This is all weird garbage I don't understand in the pre-classical era and more. And quickly she's standing before the door into the throne room. He holds the door open. Good luck, he murmurs softly as she enters. This is interesting to me because, like, she's heated as fuck, but she understands that she's in a fantasy, like, royal setting. And I'm not, like, Citrus, like, doesn't like Twilight for some reason. And this is why we've been getting here. Like, there's no good justification for me other than Tim being a pony, because Tim sees Twilight as a friend and likes Twilight as a lover, but Citrus is the one stopping that relationship from happening, which is kind of interesting to me. Like, why? Like, there's not that much to worry about. It was just two things that Tim brushed off, but he told you because he has you to, what's it called, vent to and talk about these things with. Okay. He holds the door. Good luck, he murmurs softly as she enters. Okay, so wait, why? Why is Spike telling Citrus good luck? Should it be the other way around? Okay, let's just get this over with. She's like, right, let's say the throne room, so this is gonna be great. or annoying. Anyways, such as comes Twilight's voice. The lights in the room are off. The only illumination is from a few candelabras right around the room. What the heck does that mean? I'm gonna assume there's just like the candles on the wall. Such as approach and bows. Unlike the other accounts, this is a formal meeting, princess. I know why you are here. Such as paws the floor, her unshod hooves scraping loudly. You try to poach my stallion. I wasn't trying to take him away from you. I would never steal him. You turned yourself into one of his species. How was it possible for him to resist that? The purple princess wilts in response and steps forward. We knew you were interested in him. You should have come to us. We would have been able to work something out. Twilight scoffs. I can't move to Canterlot. Do you honestly think all 5 of you would be happy in Ponyville? So it just pauses there. Twilight is obliquely suggesting joining the herd. Does she want that? Her ears flick back and forth. Words fail her as she watches a purple alicorn shift on her throne. Her wings are moving nearly constantly. She is shifting her rear from time to time on the throne. Her tail flagging, she gulps. My princess, are you still in? Twilight nods. She looks away from such as, what I did 2 days ago was not wrong. Legally, I am a princess of Equestria. That doesn't make it right, such as shouts, getting the other mare to flinch. Alicorn heat is intense. I am consumed nonstop with an unending desire to mate. It is so much worse than what I was a regular old unicorn. Tell me, when are you in heat? Can you think of things other than sex? Are there touches which do not arouse you? Yes. Touch it. Wait. What? Shush. Okay. For me, my mind is consumed by sex. I am persistently on the edge. It's taking a lot of restraint to not toy on this throne right now. If you were a stallion right now, my guards would have to be ready to intervene for your safety. Forgive me, I'm not myself. Such as lips open slightly in dismay. She steps back just a little. I widen understanding. Whether it was right or not is irrelevant, such as, but for what it's worth, I'm sorry that my actions hurt you and your herd. Such as growls. That doesn't help anything. My stallion strayed from your herd. My Tim, he is mine, not yours. Twilight turns her head to Citrus, her eyes bright with tears. If he were completely yours, he would have talked to you about this and gotten your blessing, or even brought you in. He chose to come in to stay with me. She looks down. It looks like he's not as yours as you thought he was. Oh my god. Twilight, don't suggest he's not being loyal. Now, Twilight, that isn't fair. Citrus turns to see another alicorn step into the room. A unicorn stallion hangs back, whickering softly at the pervasive smell in the room, going, as he would say, 5-legged. The pink alicorn comes closer. Tim is not a pony due to the formalities such as bows. Twilight whirls on the other alicorn. Cadence, I know more than any pony that he's not a pony, that he is completely alien to our ways, but we have discussed sexual ethics among his species, she huffs, looking back at Citrus. There has been no official marriage ceremony, so by his ethics, you are a girlfriend, not a wife. Cadence moves up and nuzzles Twilight fondly, her horn lighting and her aura floating around Twilight for several long seconds. The smaller mare shudders for a few seconds and her body relaxes. Cadence whispers in her ear for a few seconds and Cadence turns to Citrus. Princess Twilight is dealing with an effect of being a princess. She's not fully in control of herself at the moment. I strongly suggest that you wait until the current events have run their course. That's not good enough, damn it. I don't really care that Twilight was in heat. She shouldn't have tried to poach Tim from me. He doesn't belong to her. Cadence horn lights. He doesn't belong to you either. The days of owning stallions as property is long past. He is free to determine his own life. Such as lights her horn, though she steps back. That's not what I meant. I don't own Tim, but nothing, Cadence growls, advancing aggressively. He is free to do as he wishes, and if he doesn't feel your herd is good enough for him, let him choose his own. Such as stops for a long moment, tears starting to fall. You are defending this lift tail? Tim told me and now I see it. You didn't actually send the letter to cancel the appointment. You must have done something to not have the other mare around to watch Twilight. She paused the floor again. Her horn getting brighter. You arranged this. You pushed for this to happen. You call yourself a princess of light. Yeah, what you are is our herd wrecker. You have turned your sister-in-law into nothing but a common horse. You push for your own agenda, even at the expense of other ponies' happiness. Yeah, she did push it. Also, Twilight's not a common horse. Alright, she's not a common whore. She just literally chooses one person that she actually cares about. Cadence rolls her eyes. I won't deny I had a hoof in the situation. My sister-in-law was in need. She wanted Tim. She was willing to do anything in her power to show her love for him. The situation needed a push. She would have come to you. She's too shy about. She wouldn't never have come to you. She's too shy about such things. Hey, Twilight shouts. You know it's true, Twilight. Sparkle. You are too shy when it comes to your feelings for Tim. She turns back to Citrus. Right now, your emotions are overpowering everything. You need to go home and work things out with your herd. As the lead mare of your herd, you need to evaluate what is best for your herd. Even if that means losing Tim, you have to think about more than yourself. You have to think about what Tim means to you and the other 2 mares in your herd. If he stays, then you must understand that he's being an alien means he has needs and desires that you cannot fulfill, ways you cannot understand. Twilight proved that 2 days ago. She turns back to Twilight. Give us a second chance, please, Cadence shews, shoving her longtime friend into an adjoining room. She gives shining armor a long glance, and the stallion moves to the door, standing before it protectively, a radically curved sword with a 3-bar hilt hanging on his side. Then she turns to Citrus, sighing, her shoulders sagging. I'm sorry, but there is a more pleasant way to have this conversation. Citrus blushed, right? Yes. She paused at the ground harder than needed. Come walk with me, fam. For, like, advice in this situation, other than, like, telling Citrus about this, if I was STEM, this just seemed like a friends with benefits type of thing for me. And that's what Twilight said, and that's what I would assume it was. Like, whether she's still in heat, fuck. Citrus stands there for a long moment, unable to speak. The larger alicorn noises her a bit forcefully, pushing her out of the door into the corridor. Spy looks up from a comic book. Would you like some coffee, tea, nachos? I make a great nacho. He stumbles to a stop, noticing the looks on the two mirrors' faces. I'll be leaving now. I think I hear. Cadence watches the young dragon scramble down the hall as she guides Citrus down the corridor. My hooves are tied. Citrus, what do you want me to do? Citrus looks down. Something, princess. There has to be something. Cadence huffs. Should I, at sword point, force Twilight to put on a pageant about how sorry she is? She looks at you. Should I order you and your herd branded so nobody else gets bright ideas? Or should I simply order you to stop being upset? Should I demand that Princess Celestia revoke your royal privilege? I will talk to you and help you if you want me to. She leans her head down and nuzzles Citrus for a moment. She's still in heat, but this isn't like her. I'm only here because she teleported into my bedroom, crying that she had just made the biggest, worst mistake of her life. Really, princess? Well, yeah, she felt regret after the fact, dude. Like, what do you mean? This is why she literally teleported out of nowhere. Yes, remember, helping with love problems is my domain, and I wish I could do more in this situation. I did maneuver things to make this situation, and I am sorry for that. I really didn't think Twilight would be in this impulsive. She's the kind of pony who could be invited to an orgy, find an excuse to turn it down, and then complain about lack of sex. That sounds like her from what Tim's told me, but I cannot force a fix to this situation without getting to extreme measures. There's really not all that much that I can do, and I'm sorry. I've been there myself. Princess Miyamori Cadenza never finished her sentence. Stop talking. If you can't help me, I just want to go home. Citrus allows herself to be guided from the castle, and she stops as the door is firmly closed behind her, standing there in an impotent rage. Tears take over as she gallops into the town of Ponyville proper, heading back to the train station. What's gonna happen here? Okay. Citrus charges at Tim, her face a mask of rage. You do know there is only one punishment for stallions like this. Tim scrambles back away from Citrus, turning around to run. Cayanne is there, two knives floating in her magical grip, unfaithful. Her glances to the side. North Point is there, her horn of light, disloyal. He turns away from North. Silverwing is there, holding a wicked-looking sword, selfish. Tim leaps over North and runs for the door, their voices following him. Tropical Dreams comes through the front door, tail swing. Oh, is it my turn now to be serviced? Tim skids to a stop. No! She pouts. You service any mirror, right? No, not just any. She turns her rear towards her. You mean I'm not worth it? Tropical, you're beautiful. Citrus shouts, my mother? You would even consider servicing my mother? Who's next? Princess Cadence? Server's next to Citrus, unfaithful stallion. All he wants is a harem of mares to be his sex slaves. Fam, it was just one mare. What is this extra bullshit that they're complaining about? Also, why is the mom here? Cayanne paws at the floor. Is this what all humans are like? Chase him out. Punish him. There's only one punishment for stallions like that. Citrus lowers her head, her horn lighting brighter. Gild him. Oh, you gotta... Really? I don't know what that means. An itch, whatever the heck that means. Tim looks around. There's no place to go. He falls to the floor, trying to cover his head with his arms. Well, that's enough of that. Comes a familiar voice, getting Tim to jerkily look up. Princess Luna steps through the wall, looking at the ponies arrayed around him. She smiles softly. Been having a rough time, Timonthy? He stammers, no, princess. You're like, family, this is your dream or nightmare, whatever it means. She laughs. Oh, little human, don't try to fool me. She walks up next to him, nuzzling his cheek. You don't have nearly enough experience to be able to fool me. She glances behind her. Or my apprentice. Tim looks over to the sea moon shadow standing there. Hello again, Tim. Tim looks back at Princess Luna. I know this is a dream since you are here, but what is going on? She looks at him for a long moment, then she shifts to look back at the other dream walker. Moon, I can tell this will take some time to sort out. Would you please continue to watch the dream world while I help this young human? Moonshadow bows her head. Of course, Your Majesty. She disappears without any fanfare. Luna turns back to Tim. This is not what you experienced when you got home from Princess Twilight's home, is it? She concentrates for a moment, and they are sitting in the kitchen, just the two of them, steaming cups of tea before the human and the alicorn. Yeah, I would hope not. I feel like that nightmare, like, that will only happen if there was like a human harem and like he respected and gave everybody like their own good privilege and all that bullshit. But since it's not a human harem, I think the ponies are more like Citrus is upset, but Twilight didn't try to poach him. That's the thing I don't get. Like Twilight never didn't mean for it to happen. Cadence was the one that pushed it, and there was really nothing you can do other than like I would want Twilight to be in the herd even if Tim has to come there for like a few days. Like, come on, dude. Like, it would be hard on him, but why not, you know? Luna turns back to Tim. Okay, I already read that. Just the two of them, steaming cups of tea set before the human and the alicorn, so they're just having tea time. What do you know about what happened? Princess Luna sniffs. To start, your dream form still has that bulge. I am a dream walker. I know what happened between you and Princess Twilight. I also know who was behind the events of that night. Behind Princess, she cocks her head to the side. You're coming upon Princess Twilight in the depths of heat. Was misguided attempt by Silpony to bring two together that she knows are compatible on an emotional level. She felt that forcing the situation would get you to see what could be possible. Yet she failed to account for two things: the fact that you are an alien to us and more than just your form, and that Twilight was absolutely not herself in the grips of heat. Tim looks down. I don't understand. Luna takes a sip of her tea, gesturing for him to have some of this. Says, Tim, we have norms for our culture. A stallion, whether or not a member of a herd, would recognize the smell immediately and would know she was in heat. If he was interested in the mare in question, he would talk to the leader mare and gain their consent for either solo time for him with her, or would invite the leader mare to join in. You didn't either. Princess. Okay, fuck you. Fuck you. That he doesn't... He's not gonna know these norms normally, okay? So either ask for consent from the lead mare or invite her in. And, you know, she wasn't there, and it was supposed to be a teaching session for Twilight, but no. Princess, she holds up a hoof, causing him to stumble a stop. Please listen, Tim. You continued into a situation that ended up hurting your mares and seriously hurt your herd's honor. Said a nameless matchmaker should have taken into account that you are alien to us. You don't react as a pony stallion would in certain situations. You don't have to hide who it is. I'm certain it was Cadence. She cocks her head to the side. Why do you think her? There are quite a few mares that want Princess Twilight to be in a happy relationship. All of her Ponyville friends are damn back at home. Even Princess Cat Celestia, and they shared a truly hilarious correspondence over it once. Dear Twilight Sparkle, get fucked. Or so I remember. Celestia and I both know what it means for an alicorn mare to go through the heat without a harem of stallions to up. A harem of stallions? She nods. There are things about alicorns that are not widely known, and the strength of our heat is one of them. Her face color is a real feat considering how dark her natural coloration is. Can you imagine Princess Celestia, who moves the sun itself, being so distracted by the heat of her nether regions that she would be unable to do her job? What that would mean to a question to the world at large? She has stallions that are able to comfort her when her body insists on nature's call. Never fewer than 2 dozen. So 32, damn. 2 dozen, wow. But if she's having that much sex, and then no pony estrus is when you are fertile, doesn't she have a lot of foals running around? Princess shakes her head. She has children when she chooses to. There are spells to cast on the mare to make her infertile during estrus. The side effect of that spell is it makes her heat last longer, and for some mares makes it more intense, like her body feels robbed of what it wants desperately to do and punishes her for that. And she does that? And it wears out even more stallions, yes. And you too? She buries her face in the tea, her face coloring all the way down her chest. 12, they rotate out. Our body, experience, and passion make us exceedingly difficult mates to cope with for the abundance of pleasure we can bestow. And the sheer volume of magic we leak can provide delirious to the mind and body of lesser ponies. Being in a royal harem, while almost a sinecure for much of the year, it turns into a month-long or longer endurance test of almost non-stop, round-the-clock sex during our estrus. Yes, ponies have died on Her Majesty's Secret Service. They've died? What? Tim is stunned, but he fights to get out more words to keep on the original top. And Twilight too? She has no harem. She refused one. She wants the act to be for love, like with Cadence and Shining Armor. She really doesn't understand exactly how much distraction those times of the year can be for an alicorn. Cadence has been using magic to comfort her through those rough times, and yes, with the use of mechanical replacements when needed, it is not easy for Twilight. She has had to face some uncomfortable truths, including her attraction to you with her spring and autumn heats. But the girls went through heat just before I moved in. It's usually once a year, they said. For most mares, that is true. One big one during the spring and maybe a much weaker one at the beginning of autumn. Yet for us alicorns, however, the autumn one is sometimes stronger than the spring one. She says, "This is the biggest drawback of being a princess at times. Please don't hate Twilight Sparkle. She has quite out of her mind at that time. And I've had talk with Cadence about her actions in this. Our little purple princess is getting seen to both comforted and confronted. I don't hate Twilight. She's so nice to me all the time. She doesn't try to push happiness and harmony onto me when I'm sad about losing my home. She listens to me better than any pony. She's important to me as a friend or maybe more." Damn, dude. Tim stops looking at Princess Luna for a long moment. "I don't know. 2 weeks ago that was amazing, but now it feels like I was drunk at the time. I don't object to the idea, but..." "Statues on the other members of your herd?" He nods. "I never expected that kind of reaction. My parents did the 'we aren't mad, just disappointed' routine when I was younger, and they don't hold a candle to Citrus. Though I know she's mad, furious is the word, I think, but she never acts it out towards me explicitly, but I can tell." Business smiles. "Of course she doesn't. She isn't really angry at you. Her anger is at the mare who tried to poach her stallion, and she feels powerless to do anything about it." "Powerless?" "Princess Twilight Sparkle is a princess of Equestria, not a common pony mare. Obviously, Citrus would have no chance against her. In a unicorn's wizard's duel, she would lose, as Princess Twilight is a magical prodigy from even before she was ascended, and socially, Twilight can easily claim royal privilege, and there can be no legal repercussions for her actions. We are not a rule of law society as you had back home, Tim." "That's fucked up, but it is. So how do I help?" Princess Luna barks a laugh. "Help, young human. This is between mares. Pony stallions would know to butt out and keep their noses whole. From Citrus' point of view, her herd's honor has been sullied by 2 alicorn mares. One tried to poach one of the stallions, the other facilitated that. There will be a confrontation, I believe, but to know the result, I couldn't say. What could happen?" She shrugs her wings. "There are a few options. The stallion could be cut loose to go with the new mare. After that, mare shows proper respect at difference to the lead mare of the herd. That occasionally happens." "I don't see Citrus much agreeing to that. I wouldn't either." She smiles, "As if you have a choice there, but no worries, I don't think so either. The poaching mare could be fought by the lead mare. Those can get bloody or deadly, but Citrus is smart enough to know she wouldn't really stand a chance challenging Princess Twilight." She stops there and looks thoughtful. "There are other options, but I really don't know how things will go. Time will tell." Okay, I don't like that Luna saying Princess Twilight. Like, you are of royalty as well. You could just say Twilight. Like, come on. I don't like that. That's part of the paragraphs here. Tim groans as he steps back. "I know I'm being punished for what I did, but how it's done is crazy to me." She looks up from her tea. "Oh, well," he wants to stop looking at Princess Luna. "Well, I don't sleep upstairs with the herd right now, and I'm stuck on the couch. Little Silver is now sleeping on the floor with me. He's been booted out of the bedroom as well." She nods. "That's normal." "Oh, bloody hell is that normal?" Tim nearly shouts. "Silver's being punished even worse than I am, and my plane comes down every night, even when I work until late, and she asks to have sex. She says I can answer either way, but it puts me on the spot. I mean, I like sex, but it just doesn't feel quite right. It's like she's asking out of obligation. Sometimes I'll say yes, sometimes I'll say no, and she respects it. I don't like refusing her, and I can't help but notice she seems disappointed if I'm not up for it. She's milking me empty every single time, though. I can have trouble getting up on subsequent days. The weirdest thing is she's not interested in me pleasuring her back, but no matter what, Silver doesn't even get sucked off or anything. He just turns away and grumbled the whole time, nursing a massive erection, as if he wasn't mad at me enough before. You should hear the nicknames he has for me." Damn. Okay, so right now he's feeling bad for Silver, because Silver is getting punished along with him for no reason, basically. "Yes, Tim, that is human weird, but pony normal. Even when it comes to your herd's junior stallion," she gestures as some cupcakes are on the table. Her horn lights and the wrapper stripped from one. She takes a delicate bite. She chews thoughtfully for a long moment, then she glances off into the distance, and purple mists reach out, enveloping the wall. Slowly the wall melts away, revealing a moonlit field with trees in the distance. The sky full of stars as the just raised full moon shines down brightly in the field. A few ponies lay sleeping in the grass, a stallion standing guard looking up at the moon as the 3 mares sleep. Beside one of the mares, a pair of foals lay curled tightly in a ball with each other for warmth. Luna's voice is somber. "Tim, we are ponies, and from the time we ran the plains before we had civilization, herds kept us safe from predators. A large wolfish creature appears, silhouetted against the moon, low in the sky. Upon sighting it, the stallion gives a quick cry, waking everyone, and he moves up, getting them to move away from the threat. Herds were our first society, but every society needs its rules. Our family units were several stallions with many mares. If a young mare from another herd or one cut off from her herd, when she was mature and ready for foals, would try to poach a stallion from the herd. In the field, a young mare appears in the night before a much larger herd. 3 stallions along with over a dozen mares and nearly as many foals are arrayed around. The young mare trots over to the stallion, waving her tail as she gets close to him. Anger appears in Luna's voice. She will be driven off. 3 mares charge at the interloper, violently if necessary. The new mare tries to fight, but is pushed and attacked before. Finally, she gallops away. Goddamn, dude. That's a little bit brutal, but obviously makes sense back in nature time. So, like, let's go back to... So, technically, Citrus is bad because she can't really do nothing because she is Twilight, and Twilight is a princess, also a powerful being. So, you know, it kind of sucks for her. At the same time, like, you picked a stallion that is friends with all the princesses, so that's your own fault there. At the end of the day, you picked the stallion, human, alien one, that is friends with all the princesses, and one princess happens to like him enough to be a part of his, be a species to, you know, get him to rut him. So that's your own fault, Citrus, in my book. And if the stallion did mount her, even one of the junior stallions, he and many more junior stallions would be punished for breaking the prediction of that most basic system. 3 stallions stand in the pasture away from the mares, but one mare, usually the most junior, would be there to keep an eye on the stallions and to keep them in line. One of the mares of the herd stands with those stallions away from the mares and foals. One of the stallions tries to walk towards the other mares and is confronted by the mare. These early rules, though, were not written down. They were passed down, damn to filly. Though generations after generations ingrained in us for survival, they were our original herding instincts. Haha, the purple mist appears again, clouding the scene she hadn't shown. She looks at Tim seriously. That has evolved as we made cities, made lives in one place, and learned to grow crops and build the civilization we thrive in today. Those instincts remain. North is ensuring you do not stray from the herd. And Silver has to deal with your transgressions as well, to teach him the same lesson. North Point is doing her duty with regards to you, as to keep an eye on you. You may think it some strange thing, but to her it would be no different than if she were pregnant and you were helping her with pain or cravings. It's just something ponies and a herd do for each other. Until you are back in the lead of good graces, that will be how things are for you. But how do I do that? She sounds softly. You're in a very unusual situation, Tim. Not only are you an alien to us, but you also had a princess try to poach you without a word to Citrus. It will take time to figure out a way to satisfy her pain. Tim's down. Thank you, Princess Luna, but this is all very confusing to me. She cocks her head aside. I know your cultural customs are very different, but how is this confusing? He sighs. Back home, a man is responsible for what he does. I know that Twilight affected me. I should have turned away when I smelled how she was, but something in me wanted her when she turned human. The smell of her, the taste, the feel, it just got me on such a deep level. He looks up at her. I enjoyed it, and that was wrong. I was wrong for wanting her, but I did. Does that make me a bad person? She shakes her head. No, dear Timonthy. Most certainly not. You are a stranger to our world. You are not a pony. You should have handled things very differently, but that doesn't make you a bad person. She stops chewing her lips for a moment. How does your culture handle such things? Well, sometimes if a partner strays, they'll simply break up. It can be a big fight and very hurtful to both, but sometimes they will find it in themselves to forgive the other. It's not always as easy, but it does happen. Interesting. She stops for a long way. Why was she able to get to you so much? Tim opens her mouth to respond, but no words emerge. Principal smiles sadly. You have issues with your mares? Tim shrugs. Not really. She arches an eyebrow. If you had no issues, you wouldn't have continued into Twilight Sparkle's bedroom. We are here in this dream. No one other than my apprentice can possibly know what goes on in here, and she's not learning this because it contains state secrets. Pray tell me. Tim looks down. They are different. It's taking some adjustment, and then having Twilight turn herself like that, she turned herself into something familiar to you. He nods, a few tears sliding down his cheeks. I don't know why, he wails. I love sex with my herd. They do everything they can to give me pleasure, but they are so different. Have you talked with them about that? Tim flinches. No. Why not? Because I feel like the obligation, I guess? Tim sits there, silently looking at the tea in his hands. Princess Luna watches him for a long time. Finally, she leans down, forcing her muzzle into his field of vision. Tim, you need to tell them. He looks up, anger flavor. How am I supposed to tell a mare that I love her more than anything, that sex with her is different, and that I miss what I used to do? How I notice that the feel of her every time I touch her, how she smells and tastes different, how sex with her is mind-blowing, but she snorts softly, but it's not the same, he nods. Another feeling, once upon a very long time ago, I was a long-term wedded Grand Duchess of a predecessor state of Griffia. Adjusting to another species in bed takes time. She reaches over and nuzzles his cheeks. Oh dear Tim, you are afraid that if you tell her you'll lose her? He looks up. Why would she want to stay with someone like me? I wouldn't have given up. I wouldn't give up her for anything, but just something deep down wants. He says. He sighs more. Tim, I cannot magically solve all of your problems. I will tell you that she feels even more inadequate right now than ever. She thinks you went in there with Twilight, not because of her turning herself human, but because Twilight is a fantastically powerful alicorn. She is afraid that Twilight is better than her, not only better, but in direct competition in a contest she cannot hope to win. We still have a mindset to some degree that standings are property and practice hypergamy by their nature. That is the aiming for the best mate they can hope to find. In her mind, if she's too good and Twilight is better, if Twilight competes with her over you, you'll go with Twilight. Tim flinches. No, I'll never leave her. Even to go back home? Back to other humans? Human woman? Leave such as forever? She nods. You going home will very likely be a one-way trip. You won't be able to come back. Yeah, fam, this is the thing. You made a home here. That's a problem here. You made a home here and that's your mistake. You and I both know the odds of me going home are slimmer than those of Yakiyakistan joining the greater harmony. Tim shakes his head violently as he knocks his chair back into his seat. No, it's not worth it. I love Citrus, I love Cayanne, I love North. Hell, I even love Silver for what he is. I wouldn't want to lose him, not even for that. Luna is suddenly standing next to him. Perhaps you should let your herd know that too, but you must tell them the entire story, not just that you don't want to lose them, but there are things you feel that must be addressed with them. For the harmony of your herd, the loyalty of your family, for their honor, you need to help them understand. But how can they understand that I miss humans? She starts. Your species is social? Very much so, Princess. We have a global network that's dedicated to just socializing and communicating with others. She nods. 20s are easily as social as you humans. You and your herd have to find a happy medium. You need to remember your needs as just as important as the needs of your herd. And as an alien, you have needs that they really can't understand without them being explained to them. You need to tell them, let them know you love them. But Twilight was able to find a void that you didn't realize was such a source of pain for you. She taps her chin with a hoof. Perhaps by finding this relatively early in your relationship, you can make allowances for it and make your entire relationship stronger for this. She started doing sleep well, young human. Remember what I've told you. Communication is important, most especially when it's painful to do. With that, she's gone. Tim looks around for a long moment, then he closes his eyes, fading from the dream and into his body. He throws the covers off the couch. He sits there for a long moment, looking at the silver Pegasus sleeping on the floor, curled up in a tight ball, even though the room is very comfortable. He stands up and stretches his back. The sun is rising slowly. He can see via the edges of the curtains. He hears noises from the dining room while he goes in. There, around the table is his hair. They are talking and laughing like normal. Cayanne is even nuzzling Silver when he walks in. They immediately go quiet. A shadow descends. Hi, Tim, Cayanne says. Hey, he echoes, taking his seat. They prepared an omelet for him. At least they aren't yelling, so Citrus, how's business? Good, thanks for asking. Nothing more from her. Several minutes pass in silence. Silver asks, so Sir fucks a lot. Do you have work today? That's that. Whatever. Yeah, long shift today. They try to talk a bit more, but it doesn't work. Tim soon finds himself heading out the door, accompanied by Citrus. She walks further from him than usual. He can't blame her when he thinks about how much she has hurt her. He tries to touch her, but she doesn't let him. The walk is quiet and awkward. The cobblestone streets of Canterlot sing their quiet babble with their steps. There is so much he wants to tell her, if only he knew. Luna visited me last night. I get a pause from her. Oh, she explained to me what's going on. Do you understand this better? I think so. She thinks it has to do with cultural disconnects and miscommunication. Do tell. She is cold but trying to listen. Tim is thrilled. This is the most he has gotten out of her in more than a week. Usually she's been avoiding him lately. Wait, what happened? I've lost my train of thought. Hold up. Do tell, she is cold but trying to listen. Tim is thrilled. This is the most he has gotten out of her in more than a week. Usually she's been avoiding him lately. Shut up, fireworks. She told me that if I were genuinely happy with you, then I wouldn't have done it. Such a snorts. This is extremely dangerous territory. We aren't enough. You desire her too. I thought we were gonna handle this like mature adults. Anyway, when trying to talk this out with her, I realized that I'm gaining a better understanding of you, but you aren't understanding me. She thinks I went for Twilight because she offered me something familiar and hit all my buttons. Of course I'll know to say that. All the princesses cover each other. You're proving my point right now, love. You treating me like a pony, but I'm not a pony. You're in a equestria, she snaps. Tim overtakes her to look at the mirror in the eyes. I'm sorry I'm not one of you. Luna told me that you're far madder at Twilight than me, right? Right, Citrus agrees, brushing past him, adding, I don't mean I'm not furious with you. My rage towards the princess right now burns with the white-hot intensity of 1,000 suns. Did you know I talked to her and Cadence recently? No, why? No, why? What happened? Twilight didn't apologize. She claimed royal privilege to lie with any stallion of her choosing. That's fucked up. But it is the pony way. But still, to me... Are you going to let me finish? I am trying to be reasonable with you, Tim, but you make it hard sometimes, such as growls, her temper flaring for a moment before she looks at him sheepishly to silently apologize with her eyes. She hadn't wanted to get angry, as I was saying, no luck getting amends from Twilight, and Cadence was there covering her dear fellow princess's promiscuous flank. So what does that mean? It means, Tim, some great offense has been given. I'm going to ask Cayanne to go later to make another attempt to get satisfaction from her. If it doesn't work, we're going to escalate. How? You'll see. They're at the restaurant. Anything else you want to say? She is standing closer now than she was. Tim pauses, such as, I never wanted to betray you girls. I never imagined myself as a cheater. I never cheated before. It was a moment of weakness, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make things right. She stares hard into his eyes. She leaps at him deftly, and before he can even register, she's planting the tiniest ghost of a kiss on his cheek. I want to believe you. We'll see. I'm not going to read the author's note, because it's kind of annoying to me. Like, yeah, he's in equestria, but he's not going to follow your norms or customs most of the fucking time. Also, at the same time, he's Tim, and if he sees something he likes, he's going to go for it. Or if he wasn't satisfied with you girls. Like I said, like in this situation, I would say I want her. In this situation, I would say I would want Twilight, because Twilight actually listens to me half the fucking time. He doesn't treat me like a pony, because he's not a pony. He's a different creature. I would actually choose Twilight if I was Tim here. I would choose Twilight. And that's mainly because I actually do like Twilight as a character, and I would rather go with the pony princess than a random mirror, unicorn mirror that was just nursing me in the hospital and we just became best friends. So that's how I feel about that. If I was Tim, I would have chosen Twilight. When Twilight was already like hugging me and shit, I would be like, oh, you like me? Okay. Of course, like, this actress was there first, but like, whatever. I wonder what the next chapter is going to be, but go, guys. So that's chapter 18. God damn. Anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching, listening. Thank you guys do, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.